Well, everybody, welcome back to What Could Go Wrong Today. What are we going to break? What problems are we going to have? And that's exactly what it is. This day's already shot. Problems started last night here on the pipeline. The pulsators and things up there were not pulsing right last night. Now this has got what's called dual pulsation. That's why it's got this twin hose. And the way these milkers work, you got, these are the back inflations, these are the front. And one line goes to the back ones and one goes to the front ones. So instead of squeezing all four tits at the same time, it squeezes the front ones, then the back ones, front ones and back ones. And what that does, on a heavy producing cow, which I don't have anymore, can't figure out why, but it will actually rock the milker a little bit, and that motion actually helps them milk out faster instead of just like that on them all the time. And then being front and back, you only got two tits milking and two tits milking, so you got half the milk going through the line, and there's less risk of flooding the line or flooding the claws or something. So it keeps a more consistent flow, keeps the milk moving away from it. So that's one of the benefits of dual pulsation. These pulsators work off electric, 24 volt DC is what they run off. This is actually a coil, and there's these pins in here, and this, I'm assuming, from what little I know, that these actually, being a coil, magnetize this pin and cause it to rise and fall as it charges. So when it falls, it cuts off the line to this, and it cuts the vacuum when it rises, and that's where you get the squeezing action, that opening and closing of that vacuum line. Well, last night the front tits wouldn't milk out hardly at all. It was an intermittent problem, but it got to the point where it would clamp on and then it wouldn't release. Or it'd be like, it's supposed to be a consistent like this, it'd be like this, and then maybe like that, and then like this again. It was just all over the place. And like I say, the front tits ain't milking out, and it's causing problems. What I ended up doing to get through last night is I actually took, this is an old style fork. That's where your two lines come in on the claw, and these would go to your front ones and these two would go to your back. Well, what I did is I took a piece of hose, hooked on there, so I can put these two lines on the forks that are on the claw, and then I could take the line that runs off the back, that runs the back quarters, connect onto this, and then that made it run where it's milking all four at the same time. So at least I could get cow's milk last night. And then I got the bucket milker I use here. I was able to milk some cows with that and then suck it out of the bucket into the pipeline, and so we got cow's milk. Now this morning I called somebody about this, and they said because what we ended up doing is changing the circuit board here. This is the board we took out, and right here is these two lights, this orange and green one. And the green one is the back quarters, and the orange one's the front ones. And the back one would flash nice, steady, bright. The front one would be flickering and dimmer. So what he assumed is there's got to be a short somewhere, which sounds logical. So one thing you can do, what he did was, this is the port that runs the front ones. I took the wire off this, and then the light turned bright. So we assumed there's a short. So I went back through all the wiring out there and stuff, checked everything, disconnected things, reconnected things, tried different combinations, and it would still do it on here. Well, then I started milking. That was after I started milking, because the first group, then it wouldn't run right. So I called them to come back out, and they were coming to check this, figure it out. I milked the next group, worked fine. Went to the next group of cows, and then I couldn't hardly milk anything. I had to put these adapters back in and to get done milking. Well, he comes, he checks everything. Another thing it could be a bad coil. But if anything, then if it's a coil, it would get hot or something. And we couldn't determine anything if it was a coil up there. So, and when he got here, it seemed to work fine and everything. So then every once in a while, it was very intermittent. You would see a different light there. And you could stick your finger into the milkers, and you could feel them pulse. And you could feel that they weren't hitting right at different times. So we finally decided, well, let's try this new circuit board. So that's what they ended up putting in. It's a little different style, different brand. Now instead of the orange and green light, it's got the green light there and the green light there. But so far, that seems to be what the problem is. Like I say, we're going to have to run it for a while and see. But now if I turn this on, which it's going to get loud here because that vacuum pump's loud, but I'll show you. You see how even and how bright them lights are. And that was a problem there before. That top one, the orange light, wouldn't be as bright, would flicker different. So right now, that seems to be the problem. And now, if I stick my fingers in here, I could stick fingers in the front and back one. The front one, it feels a lot softer, I would say. You know, before there, you'd stick your fingers in there, and it was like it was cramped right on, where it should be more of a gentle. Now, both of them seem even. They both seem smooth. They both seem softer. You know, it's not like this hard squeeze. So hopefully that's the problem. And maybe if there's any goodness left in this world, this will indicate maybe this might have been part of the problem, because I don't believe that this would be a problem for 30 pounds less milk. But an irritation like that would cause cows to milk less. It's more prone to cause quality issues with the milk. But it is possible that that discomfort, that harder hitting, that uneven hitting, pulsing, and of course being this long, I mean, I don't think it's been this bad of a problem. It could have been hitting hard, but now it's just starting that faulty, uneven pulsation. But we'll see here. Maybe, hopefully, if I'm lucky, which is a joke, but maybe this will end up being part of the problem. Maybe I'll see a little increase in milk or something. Maybe this will be the indication I need for a turnaround. But I mean, it's just one thing after another. And like I say, you can tell it's not hitting right. Like I say, this one has these switches here to change things. This one has that switch bank. And now you just turn that screws where you want them, I guess. But that's how you adjust this, because you can adjust these. It's supposed to pulse a 60-40 ratio, which means it squeezes 60% of the time and is released 40% of the time. And then it's supposed to pulse basically 60 beats a minute. So I read this here the other day. I forget what it is. It's like in a minute's time, 24 seconds, I think it works out to. The milker should be at rest on a 60-40 ratio like that. So, but that's what I'm working on here this morning. Hopefully that's going to solve that problem. Maybe it'll lead to solving some other problems. Who knows? But just stuff like this that kills the day, because now it's going on 3 o'clock. I still haven't got my silage wagons unloaded from yesterday. By the time I get that done, I'm probably not going to get anything mowed today to chop. And so it is what it is, I guess. But it's the way it's been here. Fix one problem, you get another. But yeah, hopefully that's going to be it. Because that's what he said, you know, I don't know much about electronics, but you got resistors and capacitors. I don't know how many's on here, what's what. I don't remember. I used to take them classes, but I don't remember. But they say it could be as simple as one of them little diodes or something in there, shorted out, went bad. You know, shouldn't be that there. That would get hot, I would think. He did look. What did I do with it? He's telling me we just did a bulk tank washer. And it's kind of hard unless I take it off the stand here. But there could be just one terminal in there that got burnt or something. So, causing a little bit of a short. Like I say, when it's running, it's indicating a short somewhere, and it could be just something in that circuit board. So that's what we're trying here right now, because we couldn't find anything else to fully indicate that it's shorting out. But we got good lights in there now, and hey, just have to wait till tonight to see what it does. So, I'm going to get back at it, so maybe I can accomplish something today. We'll talk to you in a bit.